But of course, a question that's been on your lips and mine and plenty of others for the last few months: how has anti-Semitism got so bad in this country? Well, John Howard, who will be tomorrow night in a documentary here on Sky News at 7 p.m, Never Again, the fight against anti-Semitism, which will of course be hosted by Josh Frydenberg, he says a lot of it comes down to the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and the fact that he didn't come out strongly enough against anti-Semitism in the early stages of what has unfurled in this country. Of course, we all know what happened on October the 9th on the steps of the Sydney Opera House. There was very little response from police and there was very little response from the federal government. And that kind of sent a message to people that, well, you can do whatever the hell you want. And so they have. We've had protests in parks and on streets all over the country almost every weekend ever since. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, up to 50,000 people at any time coming together to shout slogans like "From the river to the sea," which thankfully the federal government has spoken out against only in recent times. And of course, we know that just a week or two ago, Australia, along with many other nations, voted in favour of recommending to the United Nations Security Council that Palestine be given a voice at the UN. Well, Adam Bandt from the Greens has now decided that he is going to take that challenge directly to the Labor government to see exactly how serious they are about making this happen. He put up on X yesterday, Labor says today they support recognition of Palestine. We'll move in Parliament next week for Australia to recognise Palestine. Other countries are doing it. Let's see how Labor votes. It will put them on the spot as to exactly how serious they are about giving recognition to Palestine and whether or not they seriously believe in the two-state solution that they keep talking about. But Adam Bandt himself was on Insiders on the ABC yesterday. He was asked a very simple question. Do you believe that Hamas are terrorists? And well, for such a simple question, he couldn't exactly give a simple answer.
You also agree Hamas is a terrorist organisation that needs to be dismantled?
Well, they're listed as a terrorist organisation.
Do you support that?
And our point is now that the Palestinian civilians cannot be collectively punished.
Sounds like you're having some trouble saying that Hamas is a terrorist organisation.
No, I just said it was.
Now, of course, part of it, Liz, is the leadership of the federal government. The federal government has flip-flopped so badly. You know, 1 minute it's yes, we care about anti-Semitism. Next minute it's no, we support Hamas, essentially. And that's
I'm not sure they said that.
Come on, no. Well, of course they can't say it out loud. We support Hamas.
So I'd like to have that quote read back to me.
But
well,
the subtext...
how else do you explain, Joe, the support for a two-state solution? They say, oh, that's only if Hamas aren't in charge. When we all know exactly what's happening here.
The support for the two-state solution is what pretty much every country in the world is supporting.
To recognise Palestine as a UN member state. I think the Babylon Bee, which is their satire, but they often hit on the dark truth of things. They recently shared this, saying terrorists learn harsh lesson that if you rape and murder women, the UN will give you your own country and $1 billion. This is basically what the UN has done and what Adam Bandt will be pushing for our federal government to do formally next week. Now, I don't think there's anyone on this panel that actually thinks that's going to be voted down.
Oh, no, they won't. I have no doubt Labor will not support Adam Bandt.
Oh, they're going to make their stance even more incomprehensive because I've had less baked dinners than the amount of times that Penny Wong has called for ceasefire.
This is a half-baked dinner.
Supported Palestine.
Well, these are all different things, right? These are different things, right? So, firstly, every country in the world, including Israel's strongest supporter, the US, believes in a two-state solution and has stated its support for a two-state solution.
And everyone with a firing neuron knows that there is no such thing now.
The question is
not
when.
A solution.
Well, at the moment, there's not. That's right. So it becomes all about timing. The problem with the UN vote, which I thought was very silly and naive on Australia's part, not to abstain from,
naive.
Is that you are, by voting for that now, and this was not voting for Palestine to be recognised and to have a seat at the UN. This was saying that it qualified, that it met the criteria, right? So it was a sort of stepping stone. I know it's all boring and it's all boring and semantic, all right, but that is different to what
Adam
Bandt. Yeah, but Adam Bandt is now escalating that even higher, right? So instead of saying, all right, Palestine, you meet the criteria for acceptance, so, you know, you're one more step along the sort of playing board, if you like, he's saying, no, we recognise you as a state now, which of course, I mean, it's rubble at the moment. Like it's not even a functioning, it doesn't have barely a functioning institution in it. So to recognise it as a state now is absolutely absurd. But again, everyone with half a brain, a firing neuron, as you say, wants a two-state solution. The question
No,
is,
they don't. It's not a solution, Joe.
The question is when.
They never
the
wanted
question
a
is when and
two-state
how.
solution.
Even the Israelis, even the Israelis. Hamas. I said everyone. That's what I said. Hamas has turned it down, and the extremists have turned it down. But everyone with a brain in the international community has supported, including Israel. Israel has put forward proposals for a two-state solution.
Haven't. The polling shows 75% of Palestinians totally back the horrors that happened on October 7th.
That's why we're not giving them one state. It's meant to be a two-state solution. That is the whole point. We are not giving the Palestinians everything they want. They want from the river to the sea. We are saying, no, you have to have a two-state solution.
International scale as being their own body.
A two-state solution.
The UN is already leagues ahead here.